Alrighty then, I have a subscriber who has an issue with their home canned chicken not sealing. Most creators know this, but we've had a problem for over 1 year with our comments not showing up for us to respond. I have all my comments set for approval first, and I was able to respond once to this subscriber. I get hundreds a day. I don't remember their name, but I do want to talk about it. So first we got to know what we're talking about. We got our canning jar, our metal lid, and then we've got our ring. So what the subscriber is saying is that they are using a metal ring, and after it cools, they are tightening the lid. Now you can't tighten this lid once it's on here. The only thing you could tighten is this ring. There are different schools of thought. I will not leave a ring on a jar under any circumstances, because in the event that this gets bacteria in it, I want this lid to be able to pop up with no resistance from this ring on it, so that I would then smell it in my pantry, and believe me, you would smell it. It'd be ugly, nasty, gross, okay? So what I do when I take mine out of the canner, this ring will be loosened in the process. I still leave it on there while I let it sit on my counter for 24 hours, where we're supposed to leave them unmolested. I don't even know how you do that, but I don't bother the jar. The next morning, I take off this very loose ring, and I make sure this lid has sealed by lifting that jar up from the lid. Lid, ring. I then wash my jars in warm soapy water to remove if there was any siphoning, any kind of grease. When I do something like tomato sauce, I'll get some siphoning and that jar would be sticky. I don't want that in my pantry where I could get ants, and I don't want a sticky jar. It ain't hard to clean it. So there is no way you can tighten this lid down after letting it sit for 24 hours. So if you can lift your canning jar by this lid the next day, and this is 2019, it was processed correctly. Now this is an Orchard Road lid. They don't make these anymore. I have boxes of the old ball lids that it does say on the box that you bring water to a boil and put your lids in it, then turn the fire off and use it so it softens the rubber ring underneath here that will then seal to your jar. It's why you wipe your jar's rim after you have added your ingredients, used your Pokey Joe to debubble. You take a rag or a paper towel and wipe the rim of the canning jar, then you put your lid on it. So several things could be happening. One, you're not soaking your lid to get that rubber seal a little bit sticky, or you're not wiping the rim of your jar and this lid cannot make a connection to the jar, or you're not following the correct processing time for the chicken that you're canning. And I love to respond to comments. I appreciate the comments I get. But like I said, for the past year, YouTube's made it almost impossible to find them. I was able to figure, or they did say it was not a Tattler lid, which you do take a Tattler lid when it comes out of the canner and tighten it a little bit. This you do not. So if the next morning none of your lids have made contact, your lids could be bad, or like I said, you're not wiping the rim of the jar. So also, if you leave your rings on, this can have moisture underneath it. Sometimes I find some in my pantry from 2015. And believe me, if there were moisture under this and I chose to leave a ring on, which I don't, that can rust this onto your jar and you can't get your product. So I hope the subscriber who has the issue with chicken not sealing can see this and respond, or if they don't want to respond, at least they see the video. So you know how you go to read some comments under a video as a viewer and you have to click most relevant top. It doesn't make any sense while we can't find our comments. But it was important to me. I enjoy helping people with canning questions. That subscriber can also email me. It's on my About page when you click on mouse toes. So anyway, hope you see it. Not trying to start a fight about people who believe with their very being and soul in every canning jar they own and all that is holy that you leave the ring on. I ain't fixing to leave the ring on. I ain't fixing to have a fight about it. You want to leave your ring on? Knock yourself out. I ain't fixing to do it because I need to know everything in my pantry is good. So if you're a ring leaver owner, you go on. But if you're a new canner, as this subscriber seems to be, I highly suggest you do not do that. And whatever you're doing with, after it cools, I'm tightening the lid down. You cannot tighten this lid down. You can only tighten the ring down. So I want to make sure we're on the same page. Canning jar, metal lid, ring. So you got two parts, lid and a ring. So I hope this subscriber sees this, and I hope it helps because we home can meats to save money, especially after this, let's call it the golden dragon, whatever, red dragon out here, because if you say it on there, you'll lose your ability to post a monetized video. But anywho, food is skyrocketing, particularly meats. So I think it's important, and this subscriber is trying to home can chicken and save some money and have a safe product on your shelf. Nothing's more important than knowing you processed your meat, your vegetables, whatever, at the proper time, and whether you did it in a water bath or pressure canner. It's not a pressure cooker, it's a pressure canner. And you cannot process meat in a water bath canner. So because I wasn't able to find their comment again, I wasn't able to make sure that they were using a pressure canner. So I hope they see it and I hope it helps.